All right, let's go over the kitchen portion for the Jayfeather here. So the refrigerator is a lot like most other refrigerators in the motorhome here. This is a Dometic series, so you just push it on and have that button out for the gasoline. Not gasoline, but the propane feature. And on these camper trailers, on the pull-behinds, you have a couple of tanks up on the front of the unit. Right now, this thing is clicking, trying to start. I have the propane turned off on the front, so it's not going to fire up on the propane. So if you are plugged into somewhere like an RV station, campground or something like that, or you're at home, have this thing parked out front and you want the refrigerator, you can just press that button in and it'll turn it over to auto, which what that does is it runs off the power supply going to the unit when it's plugged in. And that'll also work with the generator running if you have an auxiliary generator for this unit. This unit does not come with a generator. It will need some type of either generator purchased on your own, or go ahead and ask if there is one available to rent. So right now the refrigerator turned on just based off of pushing that button. We'll go ahead and shut that off just for the demo. Gas stove has an automatic sparking feature. There is also a lighter supplied in here in case that sparker isn't functioning properly, and you can just turn that over to light and light those burners. And that is the kitchen portion of the Jayfeather. Cover the heating portion here. Right down here you have your basic thermostat type style. All the way over when it's clicked is off. So you want to go ahead and have that on off whenever you're in storage. But to turn that thing on, you just click it over to on. And then you can go ahead and adjust your heat setting here. And since we're plugged in, it's going to go ahead and fire up that furnace, but we don't have the propane turned on, so it's not going to give us any heat. So that is how that operates. You have to have your propane running so it can ignite the furnace, and then you have your heater dial here, which will give you your different heat ranges. And then I'll go ahead and cover the cooling portion. Now this is our AC unit on the top here, and you're going to want to have the generators working. If you rented those, or if you have one on your own, have it plugged into a good sized generator, or also go ahead and have that thing plugged in. Right now we're plugged in, so I can kind of show you a little bit, but I won't go too far because it does pull a lot of energy. So basically, operate this thing, heat, optional heat. Basically we just use this for a refrigeration unit to cool down the cabin in this area. So that is how that thing functions. All you got to really focus on mainly is just having that proper power source, having some really good generator juice going into this thing when you're operating the AC, or having it plugged into a good 30-amp outlet. So that's the heating and cooling portion for the Jayfeather. Thanks. Hi there. So I'm going to get ready to go over the toilet here in the Jayfeather, also the shower and the ceiling vent. We'll go ahead and start with the ceiling vent. These things, you open them up basically by turning the handle there. Pretty straightforward. Open it as high as you'd like, depending on the weather. Sometimes you might not want them open all the way. But then you have a ceiling fan. I'm going to go ahead and leave that switch turned on because it can operate right down here with that secondary switch. So you got your ceiling fan and your light right here from that second switch. And the toilet operation in this one is a push pedal. So you just go ahead and you push down on it like that to operate the toilet. Now if you have solid waste, you only want to press partial on that and not open that ball valve all the way, because it'll let water in through the water spigot right there, and then fill up that bowl about halfway, and then you go ahead and dump your solid waste like that. So alright, and real quick cover on the shower here. This one is neat, has a little bathtub in it in case you wanted to sit and soak in that thing. You have a little spout here, but then you pull that up for your shower, a lot like something that you'd find in your house. There is a little skylight in here for daytime usage. So that covers the bathroom here on the Jayfeather. Right on the tongue here is where most camper trailers have their propane tanks. So on this one, we can just lift this cover right off, and that'll give you access to your 2 propane tanks here. Now there is a a switch feature here to switch between the 2 active tanks. Okay, and then also just to fill these up, simply just twist off this nut here, and that'll give you 2 loose tanks. Then you go ahead and unscrew them, and you'll be able to take them in and get them taken care of, get them filled up on your way back in. So, alright, that is your propane feature. Now moving back towards the back. Alright, and here we are at the back corner of the Jayfeather. I'm going to show you a little bit about this dump station here. So you can grab that sewage hose out. It's got, looks like a 4-prong setup on there. And you can go ahead and key that into the 4-tab outlet there on the dump station outlet. So to do that, you just simply unscrew this cap here, which it's nice and snug. So once you get that taken off there, you can set it right up on top out of your way and get your 4-prong hose hooked up in there. And then you're going to want to pull your black valve first. That is your sewage tank, and that way you can pull your black valve and then pull your gray valve second. That way that gray valve will help flush out that line. And those are simply just knife valves, guillotine style, so they'll just pull straight out. You won't need to turn them or twist them or anything like that. So, and make sure you close those valves up and put that cap back on before you hit the road. And that's your dump portion. Thanks. And so you're getting ready to leave, you're getting ready to load up and all that stuff, and you're about ready to take off. So you're closing this thing up. You unlatch your door from that door latch, and you're going to close it. Okay, you go ahead and lock your door, and then down here, roll up your steps. You're going to grab that first one, and it's going to sit just kind of funky like that. And then you roll up your second one, and just make sure that's pushed right into place there, nice up and out of the way. And that is basically your closing function there, and how it operates getting set for the road.